people, you are welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for your support. Madam Asibebre, please, if you are watching me and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. Today we are going to draft men's trousers. So these are the measurements I'm going to use. I'll leave all in the description box for you. Okay, when it comes to trousers, what you use to determine the width of the fabric is the thigh measurement. The thigh measurement you are using for this is 26, and so 26 will divide it into 2, and that will be 13. Okay, in all we have 14 and quarter, and if you can see, I've made a straight line here. This is 1 inch straight line to be my starting point. So I have from the ends here to the mark is 13 and quarter, which is okay for it. So what you are going to do, you need your waist measurement, you need your hip measurement, you need your knee round measurement, ankle round measurement, trousers length, crotch measurement, and thigh. Usually what is difficult, or what most people find it difficult in cutting trousers, is the crotch depth, and this is how we do the crotch depth. One, either you use your hip divided by 4, then use that measurement as your crotch, or your waist divided by 4 plus 1, and that is going to give you your crotch. Also, we have a standard measurement where you can also use. The standard measurement, it depends on the trousers length of the person. That is the actual trousers length of the person. And so if the actual trousers length, I'm saying actual because sometimes the person would want the trouser to be short, either 3/4, or even want it in a knicker form, or just at the ankle area. But the actual trouser length goes below the ankle area, that is, it goes down. So that's the actual trouser measurement, is what you use for this. So if the measurement of the trouser length is 40, that is 40 to 45, then the crotch depth you are going to use is 9.5. If it's 35 to 39, you are going to use 9 inches crotch depth. If it's 30 to 34, you are going to use 8.5 inches. So with all, you can add, when you get this measurement, you can write it down. After this, when you get this measurement, you can add at least ½ inch, or at most 1 inch to 8 to make your crotch, and that is okay. Okay, so the measurement we are using for this, that is the waist measurement, is 36. And so when we divide 36 into 4, that is going to give us 9. And now when we add 1 inch to it, is going to give us 10. If we are using the hip measurement divided into 4, that is, the hip is 38. And so 38, when we divide it into 4, is going to be 9.5. Yes, 9.5. And 9.5, when we add ½ inch to it, is going to be 10. And so we are going to use 10 inches for the crotch of this. So the first thing you do is to measure your crotch depth. I'm going to measure 10. Now, if you are taking this on, if you are doing this on a fabric and you know you are going to add band to it, you need to deduct the band measurement. And so let's say the band measurement is 2 inches. And so the band measurement is 2 inches here. And so this is going to be 10. But with this, we are not taking 2 inches from it. We are going to measure it exactly as it is, because this is drafting, so we are not going to add any band. So this is our 10. We are going to measure 10 all through. Okay, so after this, the next thing to do is your waist to knee. Waist to knee we are using is 20. I'll add 1 inch to it. That is sewing allowance. You can add either half or 1. So I add 1, making 21. Okay. So this is waist to knee. Then you get your trouser length. The actual trouser length of this trousers is 40, but because the length of this paper is equal to 40, I'm going to reduce it to 38 so that I can use the 2 inches as folding allowance. Okay, so we measure trouser length 38 here, that's 38, and so the 2 inches left is for our folding. Okay, so 38, and then we have 2 inches here. Okay, so this is it. So the 2 inches here is for our folding allowance. Okay, we are going to determine the crotch, how to get the crotch depth. So this is what you are going to do. You are going to reduce the 13. We are going to reduce the 13. I'm placing it exactly on 30 because that's what I need. We are going to reduce it by 2.5. So 2.5 here. Or you can also measure the hip measurements and the rest will be for your crotch. So 2.5 here, and I'm going to place the 13 exactly on the line also here, and measure 2.5 also here, 2.5 also here. Okay, so this is it. And so you can also decide to put your hip measurement here, and so the hip we used is 10. So when you put 10 here, you get 3 inches, and that is okay. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to divide this into 2. We are going to find the middle of this. So that is 13. We are going to divide 13 into 2, and so the middle of this is going to be 6.5. This is 6.5, yes. Then I'll come here and also get the exact middle, which is 6.5. Then I'll come to the ankle area, which is also 6.5. So we are going to rule a straight line. Okay. Okay, so this is it. Now we are going to place our measurements on it. The knee measurements, the knee we are using for this is 18. And so 18 divided into 2 is going to be 9. 9, you divide it into 2, that is 4.5. So you place 4.5 in the middle here. Yes, 4.5. Then you measure here. Okay. Then you will measure the 9 here. Okay, so you come to the ankle. So you come to the ankle. The ankle round is 14. And so 14 divided into 2 is going to be 7. You divide 7 also into 2, which is 3.5. And so you place 3.5 exactly on the point. Exactly in the middle. Then you mark 3.5 here. Then you come and mark 7 here, and that is it. Okay, now when we come to the crotch, which I know most of you are waiting for, from here we are going to measure 3 inches up. Then you curve it. Use your hand to curve it, but you have to make sure that it doesn't go in too much. You can just measure 1.5 here and then curve it through. Or you can use your curve to do it. So I'm using a curve to do this. We are going to join the points. So from the crotch area, we'll join to the knee, and we are going to use this curve to do it. Then we use a straight ruler to join from there to the ankle. Okay, now we are going to do the waist. The waist is 36. 36 divided by 4 is going to be 9. And so you place your tape measure here, exactly here at the crotch line. Then you measure your 9. So this is 9. 9 is here. You give it a dot. And so a dot 1 inch making 10. Then you add 1 inch for sewing allowance, so 11. That is why it's very necessary that you draw a line at least 1 inch, or you can draw 2 inches space, or you can use it for your allowances if you need to add allowance. And so you're going to mark the waist at 11. Okay. And because from the waist to the hip is not straight, so we use the curve to join from the waist to the hip. So this is it. Now the next thing we are going to do is to measure your darts. So the dart we are using is 10 inches. 10 divided by 2 is going to be 5. And so you place your tape measure at the crotch line, then you measure 5 inches. So this is 5. Then from the 5 inches point, you measure also 5 inches or 4.5. Okay, we will join the point also. So from there you measure ½ inch on both sides. ½ inch on both sides. Half here, half here. Then you join to the 5 inch here. Okay. That's for the dart. So one thing is, even if you don't know the hip measurement of your clients, and you know the thigh measurement you are using, when you divide the thigh measurement into 2, which is 13, that is 26 divided into 2, 13. Just reduce 2.5 inches or 2 inches, at least 2 inches from it, and draw your crotch line. The rest is okay for the hip measurement. Okay, and so this is it. So let me label. This is knee area, knee. This is ankle. And this is crotch, hip, and also crotch is here. Okay, so this is it. This is our darts. Okay, and also as well as waist measurements. So waist, this is the darts line. I should have written the darts here. Okay, so this is it for our trousers. Now we are going to cut. But when you are cutting, the 2 inches allowance here, you fold it in. You fold it in and cut. Up. And so you see, when you see here, you realize that this one goes in a bit. Now let me measure that place for you to see. That is 7.5, but when you come here, it's 7. But when you fold it in this way, you get everything to be equal. everything is equal here. Okay, and so this is it for the front part of the trousers. We are going to use this to cut the back, and you can see that I didn't add any allowance to it apart from the waistline. That is because most of the allowance is going to be at the back area. Okay, so I have another paper here for the back measurement. I have placed the front one on it. Back one, the upper part goes high compared to the front one, and so you add at least 1.5 inch to the waistline. So the waistline, the back one is higher than the front one. Okay, so with this you are going to add the allowances to it. Now the crotch area, you add at most 3 inches, at least 2 inches to it. I'm going to add 2.5 to the crotch area here, 2.5 here. Then when we come to the rest, I'm making it 2 inches. So the knee here, I'm going to make it 2 inches. And then the ankle here, I'm going to make it 2 inches also. And when we come to the crotch line here, I'm going to add 1 inch. You can also decide to add 2 inches to it. Okay, I'll add 1.5. Okay, so 1.5 also here. 1 inch is not bad, it's okay. So we are going to draw this straight. And then we are going to curve it to the point here. Okay, so this is it. Then when you come up here, you measure 1.5 up here. That is at the hip line. So we'll come to where we've made the allowance. We're going to add 1.5 there, and that's 1.5 inch. Then you will slant it to the hip area. Okay. Okay, so this is it. Let's join this line. Okay, so this is it. Then we are going to join the point here. Okay. Okay, so this is it for the back and front. So with this you can trace your darts also here. Trace your darts. Okay, you can pin here and then trace the darts also there, and when you finish you just draw it out. And so this is it for the back. We are going to cut it out. Okay, so this is it for our cutting, front and back for the men's trousers. Now when you put the back one on your fabric and you are cutting, make sure you add the extra 2 inches for the folding to it, and fold it in before you cut it out so you can get everything equally. Also, when you cut this, you don't throw it away. This is what you are going to use for your flap. At least you will need to cut 2, you need 3 of these. So 2 of these, 1 of these will be okay for you. Thanks so much for watching. Please, if you have not yet subscribed, consider subscribing. Also do well to share the video and like and leave a comment. Let me know you are learning. Your comment encourages a lot, so please do well to leave a comment. Thank you. Bye bye.